Good morning, guys. We are gonna learn more applications of circular motion today. Yesterday we learned about mouth ka kuwa, death wheel or rotor, conical pendulum, or motion of a particle inside a conical surface or a funnel. I hope you saw those videos I sent you on our WhatsApp channel of mouth ka kuwa, rotor, and that coin going in the conical surface. Today we are gonna learn the most important application of for in our syllabus, the most important application of horizontal circular motion, that is turning of a vehicle on a circular path. Turning of a vehicle on a circular path. आता ज्यावेळेस when you are going, when you are traveling on a road, either in a car or on a bicycle or on a motorcycle, when you are about to turn on a on the curve road, you either change your speed, you gear down your vehicle, or if you are on the bike, you will just, if you remember, you will just make an angle with a road automatically. If you will make angle with a road and you will travel that curve, that means you are not following the motion which you have followed until the curve. Imagine the road until the curve is straight road. That means it is a linear motion. That's why you are in a. That's why you are in a cruising motion. Let's assume your velocity and speed was constant. But when you are about to turn, you make changes in your motion so that you can turn your vehicle on that curve safely. So this change in motion is because of the curve. Mostly we treat any circular turn as a any curve or turn on a road as a circular turn, and that motion is circular motion, so it is different from linear motion. That's why you need to change motion of your vehicle while turning on the road. While turning on the road. मग बऱ्याचदा ते मोशन तुम्हाला कंट्रोल करता येत नाही, म्हणून तिथे ऍक्सिडेंट होतात. मग आपल्याला काय करायचंय, आता सर्क्युलर मोशन आपण शिकलो, ह्याचा सर्क्युलर मोशनच्या कन्सेप्टचा यूज करून आपल्याला काय शिकायचंय की बाबा आता मी त्या टर्नवर किती स्पीड निवडलं पाहिजे, मॅक्झिमम मिनिमम काय असेल ते, की बाबा माझा तिथे ऍक्सिडेंट नाही झाला पाहिजे आणि मी सेफली ट्रॅव्हल केलं पाहिजे. असं कोणतं स्पीड आहे, किंवा आता मी एक सिव्हिल इंजिनियर आहे आणि मला रोड डिझाईन करायचा आणि आता मला माहिती की इथं मला रस्त्याला टर्न द्यावा लागणार आहे. मग माझ्याकडे डेटा असणार आहे की माझ्याकडे किती जमीन आहे एक्वायर केलेली गव्हर्नमेंटनी की त्याच्यावर मी रोड बांधू शकतो. व्हेकल्स कुठल्या प्रकारचे व्हेकल्स इथून जाऊ शकतात. रुरल रोड असेल तर इथं जास्त हाय स्पीड व्हेकल नसतील, जर हायवे असेल तर हाय स्पीड व्हेकल्स, हेवी व्हेकल्स जास्त असतील. मग माझ्याकडे हा जो डेटा आहे, त्या डेटावरून आय नीड टू डिझाईन दॅट रोड particularly that vehicles don't get in accident very easily because we as a human are not very clever people. आता आपल्या सगळ्यांना माहिती असतं की टर्नला स्पीड कमी करायचं असतं बाबा, तरी बरेचसे काय असतात शिंग फुटलेले की मुद्दामून फास्ट जायचं टर्नवरून, किंवा काही ड्रायव्हिंग येत नसते त्याच्यामुळं काय तिथं आपण बऱ्याचदा बघितलं तर टर्नला ऍक्सिडेंट जास्त मोस्टली रस्त्यावरचे ऍक्सिडेंट टर्नला होतात. ते ह्याचमुळे होतात. म्हणून सिव्हिल इंजिनियरची अशी ड्युटी बनते की त्याने असा टर्न डिझाईन करावा की समजा एखादा खराब ड्रायव्हर किंवा एखादा असा शिंग फुटलेला ड्रायव्हर असेल ज्याला की काहीतरी स्टंट करायचा आहे, तो सुद्धा हाय व्हेलॉसिटीने हाय स्पीडने वाढला तरी त्याचे ऍक्सिडेंट होण्याचे चान्सेस कमीत कमी असतील. मग ह्यासाठी आता बरेच आपण काय मेथड्स यूज करतो रोड डिझायनिंग मध्ये, मग ते आपण पाहणार आहे. आता पहिलं केस काय आहे टर्निंगची, टर्निंग ऑफ अ व्हेकल ऑन अ horizontal road and there is friction between tires and road. On a horizontal road and there is friction between tire and road. Why I am saying horizontal road? Why am I saying horizontal road? You can say, sir, all roads are horizontal. They are like this. You go, if you see the profile of road from viewpoint of when you are standing on a road, it it is straight. But remember, जरा आठवा तुम्ही ज्या वेळेस इफ यू आर ट्रॅव्हलिंग थ्रू घाट or you are traveling on a long curve, you can see that road is inclined slightly towards the turn. तुम्ही आठवा, आता चिखलीच्या घाटात जो ट्रॅव्हल करत असेल त्याने थोडं दोन्ही मेमरी जर हे केलं, त्याला रोड आठवला की तुम्हाला लगेच आठवलं बघा कुठलाही. आता आपल्या गावातले रस्ते ते खराब आहे त्याच्यामुळे तुम्हाला तिथं तरी पण काही ठिकाणी तुम्हाला जाणवतं की टर्नच्या ठिकाणी रस्ता इन्क्लाइन केलेला आहे. पण तुम्ही मोस्टली व्हेन यू विल सी हायवे टर्न्स, you will see there is an incline of a road towards the curve which is very visible. तो का असतो तो आपण पाहणार आहे, पण त्याच्या आधी काय करू आपण असं अज्युम करू की तिथं इन्क्लाइन नाहीये. इन्क्लाइन नाहीये आणि there is a friction between tire and road and this friction is working as centripetal force or the friction is balanced by centrifugal force from point of view of vehicle. आपण काल पाहिलं होतं, मी तुम्हाला सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स शिकवताना सांगितलं होतं की फ्रिक्शन कॅन ऍक्ट ऍज सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स. सो हिअर द सेंट्रिपिटल फोर्स बिटवीन tire and road will act as centripetal force for the turning or circular motion. So if this is my turn and this is my center of this turn, let's assume this, and my vehicle is traveling, this is top view. So this is the radius of that This is the radius of that. This is the radius of the circular motion of the vehicle. This is the top view. So if I draw this image from side view or from back of the vehicle, I will see just a horizontal road like this. This will be my center, and there is a vehicle here, and it is going. So my curve is coming from this way, from outside of the blackboard, and it is going inside of the blackboard and turning. So my road, if this is XY plane, my road is along the Z axis. Z axis. So this is the side view or a back view of the vehicle. So if vehicle is going this way, then this is the downward direction, plus y plus x minus x. So first of all, there will be weight on the weight of the vehicle which acts downward, which acts downward. Now, what I said that friction force is acting as a centripetal force here. Friction force between tire and road is acting as a centripetal force here. Let's assume that you are turning, and if you don't control your speed, you are gonna skid outside of the turn. तर तुम्ही चाललेत आणि एकदम हाय स्पीडने चाललेत, आणि तुम्ही जर स्पीड कंट्रोल नाही केला तर तुम्ही काय आहे, बघा ऍक्सिडेंट होताना कसे होतात, रस्त्याच्या पलीकडच्या साईडला होतात तसे, म्हणजे तुम्ही फेकले जाण्याची शक्यता असते, बाहेरच्या साईडला फेकले जाण्याची शक्यता असते. म्हणजे इफ यू स्किड, you will skid this way. So if skidding motion is this way, then your friction will be towards center. How to point the friction force? Take circular motion out from the situation. Then what will be the motion of the vehicle? What will happen if this is the circular way and you take circular path, and if you take circular motion out of the situation, vehicle will just go straight. That means it is skidding outward. So if for our frame of reference, it is going opposite side of the turn. So motion of the vehicle will happen towards positive x-axis. That's why my friction force will be along negative x-axis. What else is there? If there is a hard surface, which is the road, there is a weight, there will be a normal reaction force. So either you can point the centrifugal force FCG is equal to mv square upon r from the reference point of vehicle, or you can just say frictional force is acting as centripetal force. Either way is good, you can use either. So first of all, let's do the math. Along the y-axis, there is no motion. Vehicle is turning along the z-axis. Z-axis. So if I draw coordinate system for this will be my z-axis and this will be my x-axis. This will be my x-axis and my y-axis is along, it's pointing out of the blackboard. So there is equilibrium along the y-axis. So summation of Fy is equal to 0. So plus n plus minus mg equal to 0. So n is equal to mg. This is my equation 1. Also, if I say friction force is acting as centripetal force, so I can write Ff is equal to mv square upon r 2, or you can write summation of f radial is equal to 0. So plus mv square upon r plus minus ff is equal to 0, and then ff is equal to mv square upon r, which is also my equation 2. You can use either way to find the what is resultant force which is acting as a centripetal force in our case. So we have to find what is the maximum speed v that we will need. We can, what is the maximum speed v which with we can drive along that circular turn so that we don't skid outside. We don't skid outside. म्हणजे एक मॅक्झिमम लिमिट स्पीड पेक्षा आपण पुढे गेलो तर आपण काय होणार आहे, मी आता दाखवलं की बाहेरच्या बाजूला फेकले जाणार आहे. हा, जे ड्राईव्ह करत आता तुम्ही बरेचसे ड्रायव्हर आहेत, तुम्ही टू व्हीलर शिकलेले आहेत, काही जण फोर व्हीलर पण येते तुम्हाला, त्याच्यामुळे तुम्हाला माहिती आहे, तुम्ही एक्सपिरियन्स घेतलेला आहे की गाडी कंट्रोल नाही झाली टर्नला की ते बाहेरच्या बाजूला जायला लागते, बाहेरच्या बाजूला जायला लागते. त्याच्यामुळं किंवा तुम्ही पाहिलेलं पण असेल बऱ्याचदा, त्याच्यामुळं यू नो दिस फ्रॉम एक्सपिरियन्स की टर्निंगच्या वेळेला आपल्याला स्पीड कमी करावं लागतं, कारण तिथं काहीतरी मॅक्झिमम स्पीड लिमिट आहे. तिथं काय आहे, मॅक्झिमम स्पीड लिमिट आहे. मग मॅक्झिमम स्पीड लिमिट साठी मला फ्रिक्शन फोर्स पण किती मॅक्झिमम पाहिजे. मग मॅक्झिमम फ्रिक्शन फोर्स कधी मिळतो मला, मॅक्सिमम फ्रिक्शन फोर्स कधी मिळतो मला, व्हेन आय यूज कोएफिशियंट ऑफ स्टॅटिक फ्रिक्शन. जनरली आपण पाहिलेलं आहे, आपण फ्रिक्शन अजून इतकं डीप मध्ये नाही पाहिलेलं, त्याच्यामुळं फ्रिक्शनचा पॉइंट आला की तुम्हाला थोडंफार कदाचित हे वाटू शकतं, पण जेव्हा आपण फ्रिक्शन पण शिकू त्यावेळेस तुम्हाला जुनं पण एकदम लगेच क्लिअर होईल. लगेच क्लिअर होईल. जनरली आपण काय म्हणतो, फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स इज इक्वल टू म्यू इनटू एन. This mu is nothing but coefficient of friction between tire and road. To be friction force to be maximum, Ff to be maximum, we will need to use mu s n. So mu s is coefficient of static friction. So when you use static friction, coefficient of static friction, you will get highest frictional force. Highest frictional force. So put this mu n s in equation 2 and put n is equal to mg in also equation 2. So equation 2 becomes mu s n is equal to mv square upon r and mu s mg is equal to mv square upon r. M gets cancelled and then v is equal to mu s rg square root of mu s rg. That means, see here too, this v will be v max. Vmax. So here you can see that maximum speed with which the vehicle can travel along the circular path of radius r does not depend on mass of the vehicle. Does not depend on mass of the vehicle. म्हणून मग जेव्हा टर्नच्या वेळेस मोठी गाडी असेल, ट्रक असेल, ट्रकला स्पीड कंट्रोल करायला वेळ लागतो, कारण का ट्रकचं मोमेंटम जास्त आहे. आणि फर्स्ट लॉ नुसार काय आहे, फर्स्ट लॉ काय सांगतो न्यूटनचा, व्हॉट डज द फर्स्ट लॉ से, फोर्स रेजिस्ट द चेंज इन मोशन. आणि आपण ब्रेक मारतोय, स्पीड कमी करतोय, याचा अर्थ काय होतोय, ब्रेक मारतोय, स्पीड कमी करतोय, याचा अर्थ काय होतोय की आपण रिटार्डिंग फोर्स लावतोय किंवा अपोजिंग फोर्स लावतोय. अँड दिस फोर्स विल, बट द इनर्शिया ऑफ द ट्रक विच इज larger than the car or vehicle, because mass of truck is higher, it will try to resist the change in velocity. And if you don't get your speed controlled in time, your speed will not come below this point, below Vmax, and your truck might get into accident easily. So along the turn, it is easy to control on the road or along the turn. It is easy to control speed of two-wheeler or a small car than a big truck or tanker, because their inertia and momentum is higher. So they will have to reduce the speed way before the turn has started. Way before the turn has started, because as their inertia is high, first they will resist the change in motion, and that's why you will need to either you will need to apply more braking force than required for bike and car, and you will need to apply that force much ahead of time than car and bike. That's why if driver is not keeping his attention on driving and on the road, and especially truck driver, and he is traveling along a unknown road or new road, and he doesn't know that there is a turn in few minutes or few seconds, and he doesn't control the speed of his truck way ahead, then the truck will get in accident. That's why along the turn, big vehicles get in accident much more than smaller vehicles. Why? Even if this speed does not depend on mass of the vehicle, so this will be same for all vehicles. It's not like that कि कार के लिए अलग होगा, ट्रक के लिए अलग होगा, बाइक के लिए अलग होगा. But अगर let's assume this Vmax is 40 km/h, 40 का स्पीड है, और ट्रक भी 40 से आ रही है, कार भी 40 से आ रही है और बाइक भी 40 से आ रही है। तीनों एक्चुअली 60 से आ रहे हैं, ऐसे अज्यूम करो 60 से आ रहे हैं फ्रॉम द स्ट्रेट पाथ एंड दे नो देयर इज अ टर्न अराउंड। तो क्या होगा, बाइक और कार वाला जल्दी से अपना स्पीड कम कर सकते हैं क्योंकि क्योंकि उनका इनर्शिया कम है। सो इनर्शिया, व्हाट डज द इनर्शिया डज, इट रेजिस्ट द चेंज इन मोशन। सो 60 टू बिलो 40 जाने के लिए कार एंड बाइक को कम ब्रेकिंग फोर्स लगेगा, उनको कम झटका लगेगा एंड दे विल कंट्रोल और दे विल मिनिमाइज देयर स्पीड इजीली। बट फॉर ट्रक विच इज वेरी हेवी, सो ट्रक्स इनर्शिया इज लार्जर। तो 60 टू 40 के लिए 40 तक जाने के लिए उसको एक तो अगर उसको पहले ज्यादा जल्दी ध्यान में नहीं आया और उसके लिए बहुत कम टाइम है, उसके पास बहुत कम टाइम है टर्न करने के लिए, तो उसको क्या करना पड़ेगा, बहुत जोर से ब्रेक दाबना मारना पड़ेगा, मतलब उसको बहुत ज्यादा ब्रेकिंग फोर्स मारना पड़ेगा। उसके वजह से भी उसको जर्क लगेगा या व्हीकल आउट ऑफ कंट्रोल जा सकता है। और उसको कार ने अगर 5 सेकंड पहले ब्रेक मार के कंट्रोल किया तो ट्रक को 15-20 सेकंड के पहले ब्रेक मार के धीरे धीरे स्पीड कम करना पड़ेगा बिकॉज ऑफ इनर्शिया। क्योंकि सब गाड़ियों को टर्न पे आने के बाद ये स्पीड से कम होना है, नहीं तो वो आउटवर्ड स्कीड हो जाएंगे, नहीं तो वो आउटवर्ड स्कीड हो जाएंगे। So for safe turning, this should be by maximum speed or my coefficient of friction should be V max square upon Rg, V max square upon Rg। तो यहां सेफ टर्निंग के लिए मुझे कौन हेल्प कर रहा है, सेफ टर्निंग के लिए मुझे कौन हेल्प कर रहा है, फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स हेल्प कर रहा है, फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स हेल्प कर रहा है एंड उसका भी एक अपर लिमिट है, उसका भी एक अपर लिमिट है। और मैं ये वैल्यू हमेशा कांस्टेंट रहेगी इसकी गारंटी नहीं दे सकता, ये वैल्यू हमेशा कांस्टेंट रहेगी इसकी गारंटी नहीं दे सकता क्योंकि फ्रिक्शनल फोर्स ये म्यू है। म्यू किस पे डिपेंड करता है, सरफेस एरिया, मटेरियल ऑफ बोथ सरफेसेस। रोड का मटेरियल सेम रहेगा लेकिन टायर का मटेरियल अलग अलग, गाड़ी का अलग अलग कंपोजिशन हो सकता है, their composition might be different or their track patterns might be different। कुछ टायर्स स्मूथ होंगे, कुछ टायर्स रफ होंगे, क्योंकि रफनेस ऑफ द टायर एंड रोड पे भी डिपेंड करता है। तो कोई सिविल इंजीनियर बोल सकता है कि अब ये वी मैक्स बढ़ाते हैं हम, तो ज्यादा लिमिट रहेगा और फिर लोग ज्यादा स्पीड से भी आएंगे तो भी उनका एक्सीडेंट नहीं होगा। बट उसके लिए हमें एक तो आर बढ़ाना पड़ेगा, नहीं तो म्यूएस बढ़ाना पड़ेगा। आर बढ़ाने के लिए आर हम बढ़ा सकते हैं। देखिए अगर आप हाईवे पे ट्रैवल कर रहे हैं तो वहां टर्न ऐसा लंबा होता है, लंबा होता है, मतलब वहां आर बड़ा होता है। But many times you have restrictions of R because गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ लिमिटेड जमीन, लिमिटेड लैंड अक्वायर की रहती है। तो अपने पास कौन सी क्वांटिटी है जिससे हम वी मैक्स बढ़ा सकते हैं, वो है म्यू। म्यू डिपेंड रहता है टायर एंड रोड के मटेरियल पे, टायर एंड रोड के रफनेस पे, जितना रफनेस ज्यादा होगा रोड का उतना फ्रिक्शन ज्यादा होगा। तो अगर एकदम स्मूथ रोड होगा तो दैट इज वेरी बैड फॉर अस, बट रफनेस बढ़ा है तो रोड रफनेस अपने हमने एक लिमिट से ज्यादा बढ़ा दिया। इफ वी इंक्रीज दैट रफनेस, इफ वी इंक्रीज दैट रफनेस बियॉन्ड अ सर्टेन पॉइंट, वी विल कॉल दैट रोड, ये तो रोड खराब है। क्योंकि इतने गड्ढे हैं, इतने पत्थर है, तो उसको हम क्या कहेंगे, दिस रोड इज वेरी rough or bad, this road is in very bad condition, so there is an upper limit for this mu s, और उसकी भी गारंटी नहीं दे सकता कि mu s हमेशा फॉर सर्टेन टाइप ऑफ व्हीकल एंड फॉर रोड सेम ही रहेगा। तो रोड तो अपना कांस्टेंट है, रोड तो अपना कांस्टेंट है, बट व्हीकल चेंज होता रहेगा और व्हीकल के टायर चेंज होते रहेंगे। टू व्हीलर के टायर का पैटर्न, उसका रफनेस, उसका सरफेस एरिया अलग रहेगा, कार का अलग रहेगा, ट्रक का अलग रहेगा, बैलगाड़ी का अलग रहेगा। सो ये मैं कांस्टेंट ये बढ़ाने के लिए इस पे गारंटेड नहीं रह सकता। तो अगर मुझे तो मुझे ये Vmax बढ़ाना है, बट मुझे फ्रिक्शन पे डिपेंड नहीं रहना, क्योंकि मुझे मेरे पास लिमिटिंग वैल्यू है फ्रिक्शन की कि इसके ऊपर मैं नहीं जा सकता। आई कांट गो बियॉन्ड दिस फ्रिक्शन कोएफिशिएंट ऑफ फ्रिक्शन, because what I said, and I don't want road to get too rough to drive, because if your road is very rough, it is not feasible solution, इकोनॉमिक सोल्यूशन फॉर व्हीकल्स, क्योंकि अगर रोड रफ रखेंगे तो गाड़ी ज्यादा वाइब्रेट होगी, ज्यादा जल्दी खराब होगी, ज्यादा जल्दी खराब होगी। तो हम इस पे डिपेंड नहीं रह सकते। तो हम क्या करते हैं, एक्सक्यूज मी, तो हम क्या करते हैं, रोड को ऐसा इंक्लाइन देते हैं, इतना बड़ा इंक्लाइन नहीं रहता, लेकिन मैं जस्ट दिखाने के लिए देर कर रहा हूं, इंक्लाइन देते हैं। तो इंक्लाइन देने के बाद क्या हो रहा है, चलिए देखते हैं। वाई वी आर इंक्लाइनिंग द रोड और टिल्टिंग द रोड विथ हॉरिजॉन्टल at a particular angle, उसके वजह से हो क्या रहा है, एंड हाउ आवर स्पीड लिमिट इज इंक्रीजिंग, वो हम देखेंगे। बट इन दिस केस वी विल अज्यूम देयर इज नो फ्रिक्शन, सिर्फ ये टिल्टिंग है, उसका इफेक्ट देखेंगे। तो अगर ये मेरा रोड है और ये मेरा व्हीकल है और मैं यहां से ऐसे जा रहा हूं, तो फिर मेरा ये रेडियस हुआ, ये सेंटर हुआ, और उसका मैं अलग व्यू लूं तो, और लेट्स अज्यूम कि ये रोड टिल्टेड है, तो ये लोअर साइड है टिल्ट की और ये अपर साइड है, तो रोड कैसे दिखेगा, ऐसे दिखेगा, और व्हीकल ऐसे होगा। तो लेट्स अज्यूम दिस इज माय R, दिस इज माय R, तो ये क्या है, ये टिल्टेड रोड, और उसको ऑफिशियल वर्ड क्या है, बैंक रोड। कितने एंगल से बैंक किया है या टिल्ट किया है, थीटा एंगल से। टर्न का जो इनसाइड होगा वो लोअर साइड ऑफ द टिल्ट या बैंक होगा, आउटसाइड अपर साइड ऑफ द टिल्ट होगा। तो लेट्स ड्रॉ लेट्स ड्रॉ द फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, रोड आपने टिल्ट किया है, लेकिन अर्थ तो नीचे है, तो वर्टिकली डाउनवर्ड क्या होगा अपना वेट होगा. नाउ नाउ how will normal reaction force will point? It will point, it will direct along the line which is perpendicular to the road, because normal reaction, this will be always perpendicular to the road. N. So this angle is theta, this angle is theta, this angle will be also theta. How? आपको देखना है वो. हमने ऐसे एग्जाम्पल सॉल्व किए हैं, हमने ऐसे एग्जाम्पल सॉल्व किए हैं. इफ यू ड्रॉ दिस लाइन further, then this will be my 90 minus theta, because this is 90 degree. So and this line is perpendicular because it is along normal, so this will be theta, and these are opposite angles, so that will be also theta. So you should know your basic geometry. You should know your basic geometry. हमने फिर भी बेसिक ज्योमेट्री ली है भाई लर्निंग अबाउट फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम. हमने अब तक सबसे ज्यादा टाइम फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम पे ही बिताया है, बिकॉज इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. सी, वी आर स्टिल डूइंग फ्री बॉडी डायग्राम्स, and we are gonna do free body diagrams until mechanics finishes. So अगर ये थीटा है, तो what will be this component of normal reaction? n cos theta, because थीटा के साइड का कंपोनेंट कौन सा होता है? n cos theta. And what will be this y axis का कंपोनेंट? n sin theta. तो अब यहां देखिए, there is a force which is acting towards center along the radius n sin theta, and this n sin theta is acting as a centripetal force for this motion. Or either way, you can direct centrifugal force outward, and you can say summation of f radial is equal to 0, and then you can solve it. So there is motion only along z axis at this particular moment. So summation of fy is equal to 0. n cos theta minus mg is equal to 0. So n cos theta will be mg, and my n sin theta is providing necessary centripetal force. That means mv square upon r is equal to n sin theta. So this is my equation 1, this is my equation 2. Let's divide equation 2 by 1 and rearrange. n sin theta upon n cos theta is equal to mv square upon r upon mg. And what is the value of v we will get from this equation? n get cancelled, sin theta upon cos theta is tan theta, will get cancelled, r will go to the denominator, and both rg will, let's take rg to the other side, so v will be rg tan theta. V will be rg tan theta. So now we haven't considered friction. We only considered this theta, and this and this v, which is safety speed, is rj tan theta. This is also does not depend on mass of the vehicle. This will only depend on radius g and theta. We cannot control g. We hardly civil engineer can hardly control r because of land restrictions. He can only control theta. He can only control theta. If he increases theta, if he increases theta, there will be a point where just because of that theta, because of tilt, vehicle will vehicle will skid inward. बिकॉज टिल्ट का भी एक कोई तो लिमिट रहेगा ना. आपने अगर ज्यादा टिल्ट कर दिया एंड देयर इज नो फ्रिक्शन, तो क्या होगा? व्हीकल ऐसा ऐसा ये साइड स्किड होगा, ये साइड मूव होगा. So if we don't consider friction and only consider tilting or banking of the road, we can get safety speed, but there is also limit on how much theta we can increase. How much theta we can increase. So there are limitations on both previous frictional force and theta. So we cannot increase limit of velocity so much using only either banking or friction. So what we need to do, we will have to use both methods to increase our speed limit. And when we use both banking and friction, we will get upper limit and lower limit of the speed. We will see that. Let's see that. Banked road with friction. Bank road with friction. अब जो ड्राइवर होंगे उनको पता होगा फ्रॉम एक्सपीरियंस, इफ यू आर टर्निंग and you came straight from this way, you straight came from this way, so your linear path will be this. Your linear path will be this. If you drive your vehicle beyond a certain limit, you will go straight outward. But if you lower the limit and steer your vehicle carefully, you can traverse through your circular path. But if you, while traversing the path, let's assume you came here and you did not you have your speed of your vehicle is now lower than some value, and you are here, you have to go this way, but you did not increase your speed, your vehicle will go this way. That means if your if speed of your vehicle is less than some minimum value, vehicle will skid inward. If your vehicle of speed is higher than some maximum value, your vehicle will skid outward. outward पहा तुम्ही ज्या वेळेस बघा टू व्हीलर वाल्यांना हा अनुभव जास्त असेल. हा ज्या वेळेस तुम्ही टर्नला येता त्यावेळेस अचानक तुम्ही स्पीड कमी करता, पण तुम्हाला लक्षात येतं आपण फारच जास्त स्पीड कमी केलेला आहे. हा आणि मग तुम्ही परत थोडं स्पीड वाढवता, परत मूठ पिळता, तुम्हाला मग वाटतं की परत जास्त झाले. जे एक्सपिरियन्स ड्रायव्हर आहेत त्यांचं नाही म्हणत आहे, पण जे अमेच्युअर ड्रायव्हर म्हणजे नवशिके ड्रायव्हर्स आहेत किंवा ज्यांना एवढी येत नाही, त्यांचं स्पीड कंट्रोलिंगवर थोडा हे राहतं. हा मग ते एकदम वाढवतात, मग त्यांना वाटतं जास्तच वाढलं, मग परत कमी करतात. म्हणजे ते एका लिमिट मध्ये स्पीड ठेवायचा प्रयत्न करतात टर्निंग मध्ये. कारण तुम्ही तर स्किड झालेले नसतात, पण तरी तुमचं ब्रेन, युअर ब्रेन डज अ कॅल्क्युलेशन, अँड व्हॉट डज द ब्रेन से, इसके आगे धोखा है, इसके नीचे धोखा है, इसके आगे धोखा है, इसके नीचे धोखा है. दैट्स व्हाई यू कीप एडजस्टिंग योर स्पीड यूजिंग योर एक्सेलरेटर. If it goes below certain point, you will accelerate your vehicle little bit, but if you accelerate more than required, you will decelerate your vehicle for safe turning. So now we have to consider these both cases. Vehicle is skidding inward and vehicle is skidding outward, and we will have to use both bank road with friction. So our road will be this theta. This is my vehicle, case 1. If vehicle is skidding inward, that means case of V minimum, theta. So first of all, this will be my mg, this will be my normal reaction perpendicular to the road surface. Now again, this will be my theta. Now if vehicle is skidding inward, that means if you take circular motion out of the picture, the motion of the vehicle will be this way. So friction force will be outward, in outward direction. I'm going to just put my friction force on center pass. It is actually here on the contact between car tire and road, but I am gonna all the forces along on the center of mass. Friction force will be on outward direction. So if I draw a parallel line to my horizontal, this angle and this angle will be same. So this is theta. So if this is my f friction force, this component of friction force will be Ff cos theta, because component near to theta is cos theta. This component will be F sin theta, Ff sin theta, and this component will be of n will be near to theta. That's why n cos theta, and this component will be n sin theta. So this is my free body diagram. We have done many exercise on free body diagram. So if you still have a problem, if you still have a problem regarding free body diagram, you should contact me after the lecture. But you should have tried to solve few numericals first. Then I can gauge where you are, where you are getting a problem. So I can tackle your problems or queries quickly. If you understood what is the free body diagram, what are the forces, what is their direction, why is their direction this way, why is their magnitude this, I have spent more than enough time on this point. So I'm not gonna spend that much time again, because we have taken a block on inclined surface, and where we have applied a friction force, we have applied another force, we have also calculated the theta for which block will start to slide downward, and it does not upon m, we have also calculated that. So this we have done. This we have done. Exactly this we have done. Exactly this we have done. We are just using our free body diagram in another situation. So if you are still not getting free body diagrams, study the notes. Study the notes. We have went from very easy block on a horizontal surface at rest to very complicated examples like pulleys and surfaces and friction and many pulleys and many strings, many blocks, very complicated systems. Start from the first case and try to study, and reach the point until when you are getting the free body diagram. Beyond that, I will again help you in our doubt session, or you can call me, or I will try to make our free body diagram sheet more easy. But you need to put your work. You need to put your work, because my free body diagram method is already very easy, and I know we have taken test on this, and most of the student know how to draw free body diagram. So but even if you are getting problem, don't worry, I will help you. I am here to help you, but you need to put your work first. So now this is our free body diagram. What are the forces along y direction? What are the forces along y direction? Yep, frictional sine component of frictional force, cos component of normal reaction, and mg. Vehicle is equilibrium in y direction. At this instant, it is only traveling in z direction. So summation of Fy is equal to 0. Summation of Fy is equal to 0. So Ff sin theta, F sin theta plus n cos theta minus mg is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. So mg is equal to mg is equal to F sin theta plus n cos theta. This is my equation 1. Now how about x direction or radial direction? We will do it both way so you can understand how to find a force which is acting as centripetal force, or how to do force balance along the radius direction. So first let's assume radial balance force. So there will be a centrifugal force pointing pointing away from center in a circular motion, and so with respect to vehicle, this f radial will be equal to 0. So fcf minus fcf plus ff cos theta minus n sin theta equal to 0. So let's put the value of centrifugal force and rearrange the equation. mv square upon r is equal to n sin theta minus ff cos theta. This is my equation 2. This is using concept of centrifugal force. Now let's not apply concept of centrifugal force, and let's assume we have to find a force which is providing necessary FCP. So what are the forces along radial direction? N sin theta and F cos theta. Now there are two forces and their resultant will be directing towards center. That will be our centripetal force. So if we are finding the force which is providing necessary centripetal force, we will have to take the vector which is pointing towards center as a positive vector, and vector which is pointing away from center, negative vector. Let me write it here. If a vector is pointing towards center, that will be positive, and if a vector is pointing away from center, it will be negative vector, because our centripetal force directs toward the center, so resultant should be directing toward the center. So our positive direction will be towards center. So what will be my necessary FCP? What vector is pointing towards center? N sin theta. And what vector is pointing away from center? Ff cos theta. So minus ff cos theta. See, we got the same equation. In previous case, there was no frictional force. There was only n sin theta, which was pointing towards center. That's why we took it as a centripetal force. because it was already pointing towards n sine theta, towards center. So n sine theta and f cos theta, f cos theta का resultant of n sin theta and f cos theta to be our necessary centripetal force, its resultant should be pointing towards center. That's why we are taking this sign convention, which are opposite of our regular sign convention. So if you find this method easy, use this, or you should use this. But I think for NEET and JEE people, you should remember, you should learn, remember, and understand these both concepts, because more concepts, more you when you clear more and more concepts, then you will find conceptual examples, difficult examples very easy. Because now if you only use this way, you have only one tool. If you know this, you have two tools, and if an exam will be easier if you have more and more tools to solve your example, to solve your examples. So now let's divide equation 2 by 1. We have to find minimum velocity. We have to find minimum velocity. So mv square upon r is equal to n sin theta minus ff cos theta upon mg is equal to divided by f sin theta plus n cos theta. Let me rearrange and cancel some common terms. So this side we will have v square upon rg, and this side n will get cancelled. Let me put n terms to for n term first, f terms last. So n sin theta minus f cos theta upon n cos theta plus f sin theta. Now we know that frictional force is nothing but mu n. Frictional force is nothing but mu n. So put that in here, and then we can take the n common and cancel it. So v square upon rg will be sin theta minus mu cos theta upon cos theta plus mu sin theta. Correct? Now let's divide this side of the equation, multiply and divide by cos theta. So first term will be tan theta minus cos theta will get cancelled, mu. Here also cos theta will get cancelled, and what will remain? 1 plus mu tan theta. This is V square upon Rg. So now from this we can get our expression of V, which is minimum, which will be equal to square root of Rg tan theta minus mu upon 1 plus mu tan theta. This will be my equation for minimum speed. Minimum speed. So you can see here why this speed is minimum, because tan theta and mu, we know tan theta and mu are acting as necessary centripetal force. Tan theta and mu helps to increase speed limit. That means it is helping increase centripetal force. But here they are working against each other. That's why this our speed has decreased, and this is our minimum speed limit. Because first we just consider friction. There mu was responsible for maximum speed. If we increase mu, we will get higher maximum speed. In second case, tan theta was responsible for Vmax, and if we increase tan theta, then we can get more higher Vmax. But here they are not working in unison, but actually they are opposing each other. They are cancelling each other's effect because of this negative sign. That's why Vmax has decreased, and this has become minimum. So if you go beyond this speed, your vehicle will skid inward. Your vehicle will skid inward. Now let's find the upper limit. Let's find the upper limit. I will keep it at it is. Again, the road now it is skidding outward. So we are looking for Vmax. So this angle is theta. This is my vehicle. EMG will be same as always, directing towards downward, particularly downward. Normal reaction will be perpendicular to the surface. Now here, if vehicle is skidding outward, that means if you take your circular motion out, the motion of vehicle will be this way. So your frictional force will act along this way. Frictional force will act along this way. I will draw my friction force on the center of mass. So here my friction force will act along this way. So I already know if this angle is theta, this angle is theta, and this angle is theta, then what will be this angle? What will be this angle? This angle will be also theta. So what are the components of normal reaction? This component will be n cos theta. This component will be n sine theta. For a frictional force, this component will be f cos theta because it is near to the theta, and the vertical component will be f sine theta. Now again, there is equilibrium along y direction. So n cos theta minus f sine theta minus mg equal to 0. So mg will be equal to n cos theta minus f sine theta. This is my equation 1. Now let's go towards radial direction. So this will be my mv square upon r. First way, we can just say f radial is equal to 0. So mv square upon r is equal to n sine theta plus f cos theta. Or we can also say necessary centripetal force is provided by resultant of f cos theta and n sin theta. Now they both are pointing towards the center, thus they will both have positive sign. So n sin theta plus f cos theta. See, we are getting the same equation. Same equation. So let's divide 2 by 1 again. Now mv square upon r upon mg will be equal to n sin theta plus f cos theta upon this one n cos theta minus f sin theta. Now put f is equal to mu n and multiply and divide by cos theta. We are doing the same steps as before, but I am doing that in only one step. So what we will get, v square upon rg is equal to tan theta plus mu upon 1 minus mu tan theta. Now I can get equation for V max, which is Rg equal square root of Rg into tan theta plus mu upon 1 minus mu tan theta. So we are assuming the maximum frictional force. So I forgot to write, our friction will be static friction coefficient. So now you can see why Vmax has risen from our optimum. So now our optimum speed will be r square root of rg tan theta. This Vmax will be greater than square root of rg tan theta, and this V minimum will be less than that rg square root of rg tan theta. Why this Vmax has risen? Because here tan theta and theta effect of theta and effect of friction are acting in unison. See, they are along the same direction, they are parallel, and they are both contributing, positively contributing towards centripetal force. They are positively contributing towards the centripetal force, and that's why this Vmax is upper limit and this Vmax is higher than square root of rg tan theta. See, compare the both equations. Here they are opposing each other, here they are helping each other. They are helping each other. That's why numerator of this term will be higher than this term. And also see denominator. Denominator here is larger because it is 1 plus some value, and here it is 1 minus some value. So here denominator will be less than V minimum. Rg will be same for both. Thus, so don't just derive the equation. What is equation telling you, that is also important. You should be able to derive information from the equations. And what is the equations we are getting? For the case of V minimum, effect of frictional force and effect of theta are acting opposite to each other, or they are cancelling out each other, not totally, but they are cancelling each other's effect. But for Vmax, effect of theta and effect of coefficient of friction are helping each other, or they are working in unison. That's why this Vmax is greater. So now we have upper limit and lower limit. Upper limit and lower limit. So your vehicle should be between these two speed limits to safely traverse across the curved road. If your speed drops below V minimum, your vehicle will skid inward, you may get into accident. If your speed of your vehicle goes beyond this limit, your vehicle will skid outward and you might get into accident. So remember these two limits. If you know the basics of frictional free body diagram, you will be able to solve any numerical. We are just balancing the force and doing the math. So I have a challenge for you. Turning of a vehicle on circular path, we took three cases, and both three cases we assume the vehicle is four wheeler. So I have a challenge and question for you. If two-wheeler is traveling along the circular road or circular turn, is there necessity of banking? Only two-wheelers are traveling along the circular road. Is banking or tilting of the road necessary? And let's assume road is unbanked, and what should be the speed limit for the two wheeler, or if you have a value of speed, how much can two wheeler tilt tilt to stay in equilibrium and not skid? Because while driving, while driving on two wheeler, when you are about to turn on a circular curve, circular road, you tilt your vehicle like this. You do it unconsciously, but you are doing it. When you are going home, just pay attention to what you are doing when you are turning your vehicle. You will unconsciously tilt your vehicle to gain equilibrium and to prevent skidding. So if you can take help of our notes or other books, but I will say but my challenge for you is to solve the mystery of turning off a two wheeler on a curved path. It's very easy. Still, if you don't get it, i will I will derive that equation in our numerical session. So don't worry, you won't miss it. But I want you to try something that you don't know, and can you work it out on yourself, because you should have habit of self study. You should We are here to help you. I am here to help you. You won't get uh, if I tell you directly go solve this, you won't be able to. But I have given you enough foundation so that very simple example you can solve. So this concludes the turning of a vehicle on circular path. Let's take a break for a few minutes and we will start. We will change our plane. Until now, our circle was in horizontal plane. Now we are gonna turn 90-degree and we are gonna see the circular motion in vertical plane, that is vertical circular motion. It is a bit challenging. But don't worry, I am here to teach you challenging part by making them easy. So let's take a break for a few minutes, and we will be back.